Welcome to real science, real physics, real astronomy and real flat earth design. I just had to do this quick video because I was watching a couple of physicists debating stuff the other day on YouTube, and it was Roger Penrose talking to Eric Weinstein. A couple of brilliant minds, right? Especially that Weinstein guy. He'd just recite anything off the top of his head. I don't know how he can store that much information in his head. But these are physicists. Anyway, but they're debating stuff they don't realise and they can't figure out. So I have the whole system here. So I was going to do a video explaining all their queries. And what do I do today? I just jotted all that down yesterday. I turn the TV on, YouTube, I only watch YouTube, don't watch the other silly stuff. And there's this here. How the Penrose singularity theorem predicts the end of space-time. And it starts off with Penrose, this guy telling us Penrose received a Nobel Prize this year, 2020. And guess what it's about? Why he got it? He got it because of the black hole. The black hole in the Milky Way. Exactly what I've been talking about for the last 12 months. I told you I'd get no recognition and someone else will get it, some physicist. Maybe he had it before I started saying that's black. I'm always referring it to the, what do you call it in space? The vacuum. The vacuum. It was just recently when I realised, I came to figure out the solar eclipses. I started saying there's black. That's the black hole. Although I knew it was black, the black hole all along, really. Yeah, it had to be. And then, so that's it there. So there's our flat earth design. If you haven't followed any of my sites, that's where we live. There's centre north, magnetic vortex. It's a big rotation. Moving up. But not down here. That's the black hole. So there you have it. He's gone and got a, I don't know if that interview probably came just after he got the Nobel Prize. I don't know, they're all talking about it now. So this model I've been showing people all along. There's curvature of space, expanding space. This is basically what they're working on, this part here. This is the rotation. And it all falls back into here. Falls back down here. All down here. The rotation around here. And then it comes back down here. That's all I need to know in physics. There's the whole picture. They'll suss it all out. Then they talk about singularities. This is the Penrose and Hawkins. The late Hawkins. Singularity, where we get all the star formation around here. They think it all goes back to a singularity, a single point. There's some theorise it goes to the beginning of the time where the Big Bang began. And they're right, because that is the Big Bang, where the sun sits in the Milky Way. That's the ecliptic. The ecliptic. The ecliptic. Ecliptic. All here. That's where the Big Bang began. Because the magnetic flow was first. So if you all want to know, and that represents female, the sun is the male. The magnetic field came under pressure, because we're in a closed system. Somehow, I don't know how. I recently read that the magnetic field creates the firmament, magnetism. Oh! Magnetism, that force. We're getting that force up there. And right down low we'll get the other force, even though it's negative down here. Positive up there. Everything comes back down here. So in all your physics, if you're into physics, put that picture in your head, you'll figure it all out, you'll win yourself a Nobel Prize. He didn't even have to say much. He's just got some sort of theory in his head, scribble something down and they give him a Nobel Prize. So this is the Milky Way, right? We get all the stars up here. You don't see them on here, that's the sunny side, the sun's shooting out here. But there's the bulge, the tumour and some ancient mythological stories. So in there, that's the Big Bang. So we got the pressure build up, right? Under the closed system, pressure builds up just like the magnetic induction system, okay? Goes up, and then you get a current that cuts across the circuit, and bang, you get the voltage. So when they got the bang, the sun was created, and which threw out the debris, which created all the planets. So it's all must be all based on chemicals or minerals, whatever. Certain minerals or chemicals get left in here, the rest got blasted out, or they're totally separate to what were the stars out here, and the stars are just formed magnetically around this zone. But there you have the ecliptic in there, and that's the aftermath of the Big Bang. This stuff out here is always flowing up in the magnetic field, and it's probably just clustered here because of the magnetic field of the sun. But it's in that's the spin. That's the only spin. There's the spin. There's the centre. It all spins around there. The centre of the black hole. Centre of here. This creates the spin. Well, no, this is the magnetic field is the spin. That's the suction back down that way. But this is the spin. Everything spins in this one circular motion. There's anything opposing it is this force coming back down through the vacuum. Just like in vortex water. You'll see it in my other videos. I've got a video on the vortex water. You'll see all these spiraling up, coming up to here, coming back to the horizon, and disappearing. There's other theories wondering whether it all stops here and then comes out like in the hyperpoloid, but no, that would be further down here. So everything gets destroyed here. This is where all life gets recycled, spirit, energy, whatever. Comes down, probably does a bit of a circuit, it shoots down there. I haven't thought about what actually happens after it gets down there. I've concentrated on the magnetic fields, but what comes back down here, well, that's the hyperpoloid. So we've got the magnetic field flowing up there, down there, around up there, down there and up there for the magnetic field. So it must just dwell down here somewhere. I haven't put my head around that. But or whether it just stops here and gets reincarnated here, disintegrates, whatever, around the sun there. Because the religious story is Christianity. To get to me, you go through thy Father. The Father is the Son. We know that. While we're onto that, check this out if you're interested in all this sort of stuff. Religion. It's not just one religion, it's everything. Once you start understanding the Kabbalah, you get to appreciate everything. The human body, the mind, our physical world is perceived, the spiritual realm, the unseen spiritual realm is in here. We dwell out here in what we perceive to be a physical world, yet nothing up here is physical. All holographic projections from in here, all amplified from the centre, amplified from here, an amplification. And in this video here, journey to the end of the universe. Watch these two and just get this model in your head, and you'll come to realise everything and how our whole existence is like this. But it's been projected, amplified, just like the stars we see up there, the whole sky. There's nothing, it's all in here, all hidden in there, and it's amplified out. It flows out in the magnetic field. It's nothing, it's just like us. And they talk about, moving through space. Space outpaces you, because it does, because you have your horizon. You go flying that way, so is the future ahead of you. Space-time, or whatever, space, whatever your view is expanding out in front of you. And then they start talking, what's there? This here, Schwarzschild's radius. This is this here, and flowing back into here. He's got a name for it. They don't have to understand all this, and they'll find all the answers. Schwarzschild radius, that would form the black hole. this radius in here before it comes back down here. I lost my point. I was going to talk. Lorentz. What I was talking in my previous video about walking into a giant ice cream cone. This is going south. This is what happens on your flat Earth. It gets reduced. See. So it's like a daisy. All your petals out here. Petals. You take a daisy, all the petals, you can fold them all back round to a central point. That's the Antarctica. Science has taken the flat Earth, taken this from around here, and folded it back round to make you think you live on a spinning ball. Lorentz effect. You reduce. You go smaller, and then it comes into, and they start talking about this guy out here, seeing this guy back here a lot slower. He's moving slowly. So if you put your head around it, and it takes me back to when I've seen rugby league games. You know, we watch rugby league games here in New Zealand and Australia, and they're hard out, they're fast. You see the TV on and watch them play league in England, it just seems like it's all slowed down. They move at a slower pace. That's part of it. Don't see them, or was it the other way around? Slower. Yeah, because they're moving quicker through time. It's the, I always get confused with the quick. If you move quick through time, you slow down in space-time, or is it vice versa? Can't remember. We've got to think about these things. But that's what's happening up south, all around here. All around here, it's like this. Points. But they're just multitudes of them. I mean, it's just made up with that. There's the whole, no matter where you are, you're going into yours. It's all being the magnetic field gets reduced back down. This is what happens. And the best way to draw it is on, geographically, is on a spinning ball, using the ball model. You don't live on a ball, you don't live upside down. Gravity's all BS. It's magnetism is in here. It's up here, the magnetic field, very strong, weak along the ground, very strong, weakens, weak, negative, then positive again. Sorry, yeah, down there, like this. So what was the video going to be on? I was going to do standard theory of particle physics, spinners, full unification, it's in there, halonom, whatever they call it, Penrose stairs, Roger Penrose again. Roger Penrose won the Nobel Prize in the black hole. String theory. It's all in here. Everything is in here. That's how the planets sit. Horizontally. Seen in our sky. So you can imagine that ring. Imagine the ring. We've got a ring like that. But it all gets projected up into our sky like that. It's on the ecliptic, right? I haven't done the ecliptic. That would be the equinox, dead level. But it's like this. Perihelion. Winds up. Aphelion. This is what it does. This is what it does. Because inside a vortex. The vortex is rotating, spinning all the time. Not only is the ecliptic doing this, the vortex does this over time. This is the precession of the equinoxes. The great year. 25,800 years, 600 years, whatever. Polaris doesn't move. I mean, Polaris does move, but it's always Polaris because it's always the sun. It's always the sun down here. It's just the sun. It's moving around. The sun, Polaris, Sigma Octantis out here. So you got this here being cast into the sky like this. You'll see it like this or like that. You're not going to see the back set because the sun's in here. The sun's, we're only seeing this side at night. What's happening around here? It's easy when you get your head around it. If you just follow all this, all your physics is answered. Physics is cosmology. It's all there. There's your cosmology. It's all in there, that one picture. Nowhere else. All there. The Polaris rotation goes to the equator, and then you got the Sigma Octantis rotation. Sigma Octantis is the sun. Then you got that rotation, and that all comes off in here, around this zone. Turning. As this turns, the centre light is reflecting, turning out there, all around the perimeter, horizon. Here, shining out as it turns. So you got the sun doing its bit on that side, you got night time doing its bit on this side. As long as this is turning, you're always getting your rotation at night. Like this. You don't see it because there's so many rotations. Look. There's so many stars. It's always turning. You know, it is actually moving slowly, but there's always stars. So, and you've always got your one focal point, your one horizon. It's always there, Sigma Octantis, for you. Wherever you look south. Dead south. You turn that way, you're not looking south, eh? You're not looking. You have to line up with north and south. There's Sigma Octantis. You look that way, you're not looking directly north and south, are you? You're now off to the west. Simple. See, science can't get their head around this. That's a Nobel Prize for Lindsay Harris there. Wonder who's going to receive that one. Eh? That's a real tricky one. And the wise man knows that. And the wise man knows this is in here, centre north. You know, that's all your physics. But physicists will go, oh no, that means it's flat. That means we're all going to look like dicks. So you're not going to hear about it. You're just going to come up with a bit of drips now and then about finding this or whatever, like they've done now, black hole and the Milky Way. No crap. It's the Milky Way right there, right in your face. What can I say? So I'm not doing that video now, there's no point. If you really want to know about physics, understand it. The only hard thing about physics is trying to understand all their terminology and all the garbage. They've named all these things in here. Bosons, muons. So you've got, there's no stars in here. you've only got planets in this vacuum. So it's just a matter of research as to what, because look at the sands of the world, all the sands of the, could be just sand, because it's just blown up. Minerals or gas, I think it's all a chemical reaction. But whatever these are, well, they are still classed as the electrons, because that's the proton. So it's probably the two, I don't know, you've got a different type of star right here in the magnetic field. So it must be different to these, whatever's going on in here. Well, it's obviously they are different. But, you know, it's just, I don't know, what is sand? You break sand down. What is sand? Whatever's in there. Trace the universe back to the Big Bang. Yeah, that's the singularity. The big cluster, and I think it goes to a focal one point somewhere. But no, it's all there because bang, that was the bang there. The sun's being formed. That's enough of physics. Understanding everything. Kabbalah. You can learn basically everything I sort of know, but they haven't got the full story. The answer's not there, but they can lead you to it, to understanding. Well, stuff I do, the videos I make, you get to understand it more. Lorentz effect, that's the south. You live on a flat earth, and this is the effect you get when you go south. Got it? Well, that'll do. Oh, this is a simple bar magnet. Simple bar magnet, look. The hole in the middle. This is iron sand I sprinkled. Hole in the middle of it. That's it. Just a simple bar magnet. That's what you've got in the centre of Earth. The vortex. The no-go zone. There's nothing happening here. This is the magnetic fields here. I did another video using a ring magnet. Dropped sand on it, turned into a donut. Where was I going with that one? Anyway, it just swelled up like a nice round donut. Oh, that's right. And when I put in a glass container, shook it around a bit, and it was an oil. I put in oil to slow everything down, slow motion, because I videoed it. And I shook it around, and then blow me down. The black sand had formed a semicircle. If you go back to my previous video on the Colosseum, the design, it all boils down to this amplification, magnetic fields, amplification. It had the black sand formed this shield like that. Freaky. Yeah, well, that's about it. That'll do. Cheers.